Good morning. Welcome to the pipeline. Y'all come on in. Welcome to the pipeline where we got more audio than visuals. Feel free to come on in and part. Feel free to come in and park, y'all. What's up? What's up? What's up? Oh, I was getting my water. I know it's early, but y'all know how we do. Y'all know how we do. Y'all know I be having to have my relaxation going on, especially in my peaceful parts of the morning. This is my peaceful parts, y'all. The house is asleep. So let me see how many minutes I'm in. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good people. Welcome to the pipeline where we got more audio than visuals. So I'm gonna get into what I want to talk to y'all about. Y'all know me, I stay on my grizzle. I stay on my grizzle. So I had closed one of the biggest business deals I have ever closed yesterday. I've been going back and forth. This whole deal took 3 years to close. Let me get that understood. 3 years. So I kind of fell back for a while. Then the beginning of the year, reached out to me, reached back out, like, boom, 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 we ready to go now. What has changed from now to then? Right. So, however, been kind of anxiety, been up, been really busy with other things I got going on. But salute to me. I'm the GOAT. I feel like I always have been. This deal is one of the best deals I ever closed as an adult. And I'm very proud of myself. Very proud of myself. This came with a lot of hard work, a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of stress came behind this deal. A lot of people that I thought I could bring with me can't even go. Can't even go. And this is the part, y'all, that bothers me with people who's supposed to be for you. These people supposed to be for you, but then when them opportunities come and them floodgates of abundance of blessings come, then it turns into a envy, jealousy thing. And I don't understand that because it's like if we are part of a winning team or your circle is really tight, my thing is if somebody win, we all won. That's how it really supposed to go. If I can't get up where you at, you come and bring the safety net out for me. Put the safety net out for me. I ain't trying to say take care of me. Put the safety net out for me. Catch me if I fall. That's how it's supposed to be in family relationships and family dynamic. One win, we all win. Because that ain't going to do nothing but open up the door for your opportunity to come. Then you bless somebody and open up your opportunity. Open up the door for the next. It's just a chain of event of growth, development, and come ups. But I don't understand how it always turned into some jealousy, envy thing from both parties, males and females, right? So, tops off to me for that. I finally could get some rest. Y'all, I slept so good last night. I haven't slept that good in a while because a lot of things that I got going on is all I'm tying everything up. I see all my I's being dotted, all my T's being crossed. And look, I'm barely pushing the first quarter of the year. It's pretty much over, and I have accomplished a lot. So, shout out to me. Shout out to me. I had to tell y'all about that because that's a big reason why I kind of been MIA the last week. It just was a lot of deadlines over my head that I had to complete. And then when you dealing with other people money and got other people business in your hands, you most definitely you got to show up and show out. You got to show up and show out for these people that's putting their trust in you. So I had a lot of stress on me. But however, this I have to always give y'all like a little intro of stuff before I go into my topics, because it just really be warming y'all up and getting y'all brains ready for what I'm trying to about to go into with these next subjects, because these next subjects I'm about to hit on gonna rub a lot of people the wrong way. But y'all know me. Y'all know me. And I can't be biased, and I gotta be real about the situation. So a lot of this stuff I'm about to say is most definitely people ain't gonna be feeling it, but it is what it is. Feel free to comment. Feel free to email me, pipeline news 2020 at gmail.com, if you disagree or want to discuss what I'm talking about. So listen, y'all, I got into a little argument with somebody a couple days ago. Actually, it was a group setting, but here's my thing on the whole take, right? I don't know why, and this is just my opinion. If I'm wrong, y'all please come in and tell me. Here's my thing. Why is it that so many people in conversations, and I noticed this just isn't an age thing, because I've seen people do this in all ages, caliber of ages. So they don't just say, oh, that's for little young people, or the little dudes do that, or the women that lie do that. No, I've seen it happen in all age groups, right? Here's my thing. I don't understand why, in order to get your point across, you got to put it on a whole bunch of dead people. I don't understand that. Can y'all please make that make sense to me? Having a conversation with somebody, I automatically knew this person was lying through their group conversation we was having. Everybody is in face to face, right? I'm just the type that I could peep stuff, like, when people lie and stuff like that, in the inside, like that don't even sound right. You could tell real from fake. If you I ain't even gonna say that. It's just your intuition. You know when somebody lying and when they telling the truth. Just for instance, the kids that you raise, or your spouse. You know when your spouse or your kids is lying to you. Same thing with friends and family who you've been knowing. Sometimes you ain't got to know people for a long period of time to know when people is lying. So I decided to call somebody out on a lie, because I just felt like, look, I'm tired of hearing this. Is you lying? Quit doing all that damn lying, right? So they say, I put that on my kids. I put that on my dear mama. I put that on my dear mother, and I don't even put it. But this my thing, like I said. Why do you have to put it on your mom and your kids for a person to take you serious or believe what you saying? A person should automatically believe. If a person know you, if they know you and know you solid and know you real, they know your track record. What's the point of putting it on your dead people and your kids for validation to say you telling the truth? I don't understand that. To me, I think that's one of the most disrespectful things you could do to a person, is by keep putting all these lies on these dead people. We talk about this on my lives all the time, with these rappers disrespecting the dead. And now it ain't even got to be rappers. It's everyday regular people who lies and always want to put it on these dead loved ones. I think it's so disrespectful. So I say, why do you have to keep putting it on your dead people and your dead folks, and even your kids that's living, to prove your validation, and you still lying? Like I said, I'm just saying, you can't tell me. I'm not telling you nothing, but what I'm saying is, what you saying ain't adding up to the conversation. And then you go put it on all these dead people, like that's supposed to make us feel like you telling the truth when you still lying. So I end up getting into it with a person about that. So my thing is, am I wrong? Am I wrong for sitting up and telling a person, quit lying on these dead people? Y'all got these dead people. And this ain't even to the conversation, the argument I was going back and forth about. Man, it's a lot of people out here, man. A lot of y'all gotta quit lying on all these dead people. These dead people rolling in their graves with all these people lying on them. Just lying on these dead people. And then they kids, then you putting it on your kids that's living. Like, I'm big on Watch what come out your mouth. I'm big on what you put into the universe, the words you speak out your mouth into the universe. I'm real heavy on that. I'm real big on watch what you say. Because I believe a lot of things you speak will come into existence. That's just what I believe. You can't keep talking about ops and all this stuff and think it ain't gonna come to you. You can't sit up here and be disrespectful towards people and don't think no disrespect gonna come back. You can't sit up here and talk about death and I don't want to live and I don't want to and don't think you gonna speak these things into existence. The tongue is a powerful, powerful weapon. And I think it's one of the most deadliest weapons on the body is the tongue. That tongue can cut you, slice you. That the stuff that come off that tongue could be some of the most deadliest things. So I just wanted to talk to y'all about that because I'm just over it, man. I'm over it. It stop making it seem like I'm tripping because I'm tired of people lying on all these dead people. And like I was telling my people who we had the back and forth. Well, actually, it wasn't even an argument to me. Probably to them it was, but to me, it was a debate. I love having debates, but people think like, oh, it's confrontation or it's argument. No, because we can agree to disagree. Your opinion matters. I want to know how you feel. Respect me on how I feel. We can disagree respectfully, but don't just shut down because you feel like a person ain't trying to hear what you got to say. I believe in really expressing yourself to the fullest extent. I do believe that, male or female, we got to get out the habit of hush, being quiet. Because when we grew up, our parents told us, well, go in my house, stay in my house. You don't go and tell nobody what's going on in my house. We grew up, our society, our culture grew up off the hush factor. When Uncle such and such creep in the room in the middle of the night, you tell you, don't say nothing, we're going in my house. You got to watch that. Don't teach your kids to be quiet. You want your kids to express freedom of expression. As adults, you want to practice freedom of expression because that come with pressure. That come with respect. You're not about to sit up here and tell me what you want to tell me and think I'm supposed to agree with it and listen and don't speak my truth or my opinion. Listen to you talk. Come on, man. Who does that? That don't make sense. And now with these kids growing up with the hush factor, don't say nothing. It's a lot of things that these kids is suffering in depression and silence behind being told to be quiet. These are the things that I go through that I feel like not only just me, I go through that I have to bring awareness on with these kind of things because I always talk about these generational cycles. And I'm not saying all of them was wrong, but a majority of them is straight like prepared the kids for modern day slavery. It most definitely plays a part with self-esteem, unhealthy eating habits, addictions. By addictions start with when you are a kid. This stuff be psychological traumas that happens to you in your childhood as you develop into your adulthood. These fears and these what would I say? These fears and a sense of control will cause a teenager to go out and commit homicide, will go out and commit suicide, will go out and try drugs and do things by the time they are even adult. So then by the time the adult years kicked in, you got what you got. A person's child development is already transformed by the age of 6. By the age of 6, this is statistically, this is a fact. By the age of 6, you are already prepared. Your child is already prepared mentally on who they are going to become. If by a certain age, if that parenting don't increase or decrease, you will see your child go off the deep end or you will see your child excel. But by the age of 6, their brain is already developed on who they are far as personality traits. Far as personality traits. So y'all keep your eye on that because like I said, I think a lot of our, not even just our ancestors, but our great great grandmothers, great great grandfathers, and great aunts and great uncles who's no longer with us, man, they left some big shoes to fill. They left some huge shoes to fill. and they left a lot of legacies behind. On top of that, they left property. They left all kind of different things that they kids neglected, which now the grandkids ain't got nothing to fall back on because the parents didn't do what they were supposed to do with the business or the financial or the real estate part of it, or it becomes a money game. So I just need for people just to open their eyes up and realize how much our deceased ones meant to us and the legacies that they left behind. Because to constantly keep lying on these dead people, it is totally a slap in the face to me. I don't think that's funny. I put it on my kids. I put that on my mom. I put that on my grandma. Put that on my dead folk. Man, that don't hold no weight to me, and that do not give you validation. It just does not. Stand in your truth and stand on your ground on what you believe in. Leave them dead folks out the equation. It's disrespectful. You ain't no better than these rappers that's lying on all these dead people and disrespecting these dead people. Come on, we got to do better with that. So my point in telling y'all the story was that if y'all feel like, and please feel free to comment on what y'all think about that topic, because I'm just over trying to like explain it to people. Like every time I stop people in their tracks when they do that, like I don't care who it is. If you around me, you go on them dead people, I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. Why do you got to put it? I always ask people like, why you got to put it on your dead people? I'm just saying because like, and this is what the person told me why they did it. They said, it ain't that I do it around everybody. I just do it around people that I'm close to. I said, so that really don't make no sense then, right? Y'all, what sense does that make? It would seem like you would put it on the dead people to people you don't know. Why put it on all these dead people to the people that you close to? Because the people that you close to already know your character and know how you built. So why do you got to put it on dead people to the, y'all, I'm still lost behind. Like, so I wasn't the bad guy. I didn't feel guilty about expressing that. I most definitely didn't. So back to what I want to talk about, right? I had to give I had to give y'all an opener. Good morning. Welcome to the pipeline. If you ain't here, hit the like button for me. Feel free to park and comment, right? So I want to talk about the women of the culture, right? Actually, we're going to talk about the slap first. Let's talk about the slap because that was more recent. Let's talk about the slap. We seen the slap. It's been trending for about 2 days now. It's the topic of everybody's conversation. Will Smith slapping Chris Rock at the Oscars, right? Now, here's the thing, because I'm hearing a lot of people go back and forth like, oh, well, you got to protect your wife. That was his wife. That was his wife. He shouldn't have, Chris Rock was dead wrong. Jada Pinkett been battling alopecia for years, losing her hair loss. And this is my thing. Then they say Will Smith, he was wrong for what he did. So we see the world going 50-50 with this thing, right? 50-50. Here's my take on it. I'm sorry, y'all. I hate to come off like this about Jada. Because alopecia is a serious thing. It's a lot of women around the world who suffers from alopecia. It's a hair loss. I really don't know too much about it. I just really know it got a lot to do with hair loss. It's not an age thing. It's a young thing too. I think it comes from a lot of them wigs and lace fronts and stuff they wear and not properly taking care of your hair. It also could be a health thing that goes wrong within the body, which causes same thing like cancer, something health wise that causes the hair to fall out. Now, I'm not going to go into the whole detail about alopecia because I'm uneducated about alopecia, but I'm very familiar with the term and that it means hair loss. What causes it, I don't know. So listen, out of all the disrespect that Jada Pinkett has displayed, not only for her family, but to her husband, the man who stood in her defense, is embarrassing as a black woman. I'm sorry. True enough, we feel bad for about her hair issue, but Jada been wearing them pants in that relationship for many years now. Let's not forget about the August Alsina that was kind of pedophilish, kind of pedophilish on Jada end, kind of pedophilish having an affair with that man. She moved out August Alsina in their home and had a sexual affair with him. He lived with them when he was a minor. By the time she had an affair with him, he was like 20, 21 years old. It's kind of pedophilish. It is. It's kind of pedophilish. Not only that, you had sex with him in your home under the nose of your husband. Your husband had no clue about. Then on top of that, you constantly is disrespecting your husband in the public light. Look at them kids. Jada, he don't know if he want to be a woman. He don't know if he want to be a dude. He modeled for all these women clothes. He's an ambassador for Louis Vuitton women's edition. Them kids, I don't know what Jada Pinkett is doing over there in that household, but I think it's dysfunctional. I really do. I love the creative freedom, the freedom that she gives them to be creative, which is great because you don't put a cap on creativity. I do respect that about her. But come on, man, we know her track record. We know her history. Just like we know Kim K history. That don't mean we holding a pass against them. No, we're not. But let's say if it walk like a duck, quack like a duck, it's a damn duck. She always have been disrespectful to her husband in the media for years, putting all their business out in the public, talking about his sexual downfalls in the bedroom, constantly belittling this man. So then the world's supposed to feel sorry for her behind him slapping Chris Rock. Nah, we ain't buying that. We not buying that. And I'm not here, like I said, I'm always here to stand up for black women. But right is right and wrong is wrong. And I feel like she had a big influence on why he went up there and slapped Chris Rock. If y'all seen the look on her face, she been wearing them pants. She gave him a look of disgust like, oh, you just gonna let him say that? Keep in mind, Chris Rock is one of the rawest comedians. Him and Eddie Murphy is two of the most modern day in the 20th century rawest comedians. I would say Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, right? Two of the most, Eddie Murphy, two of the most, and you kind of could put Cat Williams in there too, technically, if you really want to talk about who don't hold their tongue when it comes to these comedians. First of all, it was all comedy. It was all comedy. Everybody know how raw and uncut Chris Rock is. So do that make Jada an exception? Behind him saying he waiting on G.I. Jane too, the new movie. Come on. It was a joke. And let's be honest, she did look like G.I. Jane. No disrespect. But for Will to go up there on national TV and slap another black man just for joking around. If that's the case, everybody comedians talk about need to be slapped in the face. This is comedy. People are too sensitive. Of course, he would never talk about Jada disrespecting her with her alopecia. The world need to wake up. Y'all making this more than what it is. It was all out of joke and humor and talking about her like everybody else who sits in the front row at any Grammys or any Oscars. Kevin Hart does it all the time. Disrespect LeBron James, Shaq, their wives, and everything. So what make Jada an exception behind a comedy act that was put on the script? Chris Rock reads off a script, if y'all don't know how this works. He wasn't freestyling. He read off the prompt. That was in the prompt on what he was supposed to have said. So if that's the case, Will Smith should have took that energy up with the Oscars. He should have took that same energy up with August Alsina. He should have took that same energy with a lot of other men who disrespected his wife. Why would you feel like it is okay to go on national TV and display an act of violence and then come with the tears like we supposed to feel sorry for you? We don't feel sorry for you, Will. You knew better. You knew better. And I don't care about the people like, oh, he stood up for his wife. He looked like a clown. He embarrassed his wife and embarrassed himself and his family by going up there and displaying an act of violence. That was assault that took place. That don't give him no pass to go put his hands on somebody else because his wife was disrespected behind a joke, behind something that the Oscars put on a prop that he was reading. How is that fair? So everybody talking about Will Smith, but we don't hear nobody checking in with Chris Rock. He most definitely was assaulted. Chris Rock took it real good because it couldn't have been another comedian. Any other comedian would have most definitely dropped Will where he stood. It most definitely would have been a problem with any other comedian. He knew who he could pull that on. Trust me. He knew that. I don't got no respect for, I don't have no respect for violence at all. That was truly an assault. Thankfully, Chris Rock did not press charges on him. Because we see that Will is tired of being embarrassed by the woman that he went up there and defended. He broke down. He tired of her publicly embarrassing him and making him look like a simp. Jada makes him look like a simp, and he is tired of it, and he took his anger out on the wrong person. And that's what it is. He tired of being the butt end of these jokes with Jada. He's fed up. He got fed up. And I just believe like the world really, and they made it a meme. Like Chris Rock said, he came back with the best punchline ever after he got smacked. What'd he say? What'd he say, y'all? This is the best night in television history. When have we ever seen, and this is the part that to me make our people and our black men looks bad. We know in the Oscars, keep in mind the Oscars, them higher ups, they knew what they was doing by putting that on that prompt for Chris Rock to read. They knew how all of this was going to trigger all of this. This is what I'm saying. These folks stay 2 steps ahead. But with them being brothers of the same group, let's be honest, Chris Rock and Will Smith is in that same caliber of elites that's in that social circle. They is brothers of elites. So let's keep that 100. They pretty much, in the elite circle they in, you pretty much could say they like frat brothers. They in a social elite group, them two. They are brothers. Why would you make our people look more bad than what we already look by proving to these people can't invite black folks nowhere? Can't invite black folks nowhere. Every time they show up, it's going to be confusion and chaos. This is what they steady want the agenda to be about. And as we know what the agenda is being about, we steady keep going along with it, humiliating our black men, humiliating our black women. Jada Pinkett most definitely, that was a representation for black women, whether people want to say it or not. They kept showing the look on her face, which if you look at all the clips that is going around, first thing they do is show Jada, a black woman, her look of disgust to look at her husband, and the next clip we see is him smacking the hell out of Chris Rock. They constantly use us to make us look bad to bring them in more bucks. Make us look bad to keep them palms greased on the other side. And it baffles me that it don't matter what race you are. It don't matter how much money you got. Y'all see how the strings is constantly being pulled in whatever tax bracket you in. Even, let's say for instance, even in our inner city communities, these OGs, from what we call them, OGs, they puppet masters, a lot of them pull these strings. So my point is this, it ain't really about your tax bracket. The sense of control can come in all forms and all sizes and all races and all financial brackets. Pay attention to the control and try to break them cuffs. Break that bondage that comes with control. So I just wanted to get on that part of it because I didn't find it funny. It wasn't amusing to me. It was very humiliating to our people, to our black men, and especially for him and his family. It was very disrespectful. You don't display an act of violence. Come on, man, they got on $1,000 suits. These is the Oscars. This is the big money event. Everybody show up to look good. They wearing $15,000, $20,000 gowns. The women in there had on $100,000 dresses. The men $40,000, $50,000 suits, Italian suit. Why would you display an act of violence in that kind of setting? It was a way he could have handled that. He most definitely could have walked up and went to the left or right of the stage and waited for Chris Rock to come off so we could have a conversation. I didn't appreciate that, but you did, my brother. Could you please issue a public apology? My wife didn't. It was so many other ways that he could have handled that by slapping him. And we just talked about this last week, that you ain't about that life mentality. You ain't about that life mentality. Look what just happened with Will Smith and Chris Rock. This is what I'm saying. Violence is never the way to go. With that, he could lose a lot of endorsement deals. Will Smith could lose a lot of roles behind this. They root for you when it's happening, but behind closed doors, it's a different story. When you up, everybody with you. But while you up, it be these same people that bring you down and kick you when you down. These same people that lift you up. Which take me back to the women of the culture, which I really want to talk about. It's a few women I'm going to bring up in this right here. I think it's like 4 or 5 women I'm going to bring up. First, I want to talk about Apple Watts from Love and Hip Hop. I had gave y'all a little snippet about what happened to Apple Watts, I guess, within 24 hours of it happening. And I was in a place of business, so I really couldn't really go into full detail the way I wanted to go into detail, but I like Apple Watts. 3 of my favorite characters on all the Love and Hip Hop seasons. I like women that live in their truth and they give you they raw. For instance, Tommy Lee is one of my favorites on Love and Hip Hop. Jocelyn Hernandez, Apple Watts, and who else would I give it to? These are the women that I think live in a raw truth, and we respect them for that. We can't see them no other way because they always been real and true to who they really are. And we seen these women. Oh, and Jessica Dime. I would say these would be my top 4 reality stars that I felt like are the realest ones. Jessica Dime, Tommy Lee, Apple Watts, and Jocelyn Hernandez. These are all strong, very strong black women who I just named. And all of them know how to get a bag. All of them know how to get a bag. All of them are beautiful. All of them are very independent women, right? Regardless of what the media try to portray these women, all of these women are very strong, black, independent queens. All of them, right? You can't take that from them. Very talented. Every last one of them that I just said. So with that, I always pay attention to their stories, where they came from, how they ended up on reality TV, how they ended up in the strip clubs, how they ended up being models and IG icons, stuff like that. I always like to follow their growth. So speaking on Apple Watts, it was very tragic and sad what happened to Apple Watts in his car accident. Apple Watts is showing improvement because there's a lot of people saying that Apple Watts is dead. She passed away. She's not dead. She's very well alive and is showing improvement. I think she breathing on her own, I think up to 8 hours without the machines, and she's showing movement. They were saying it's like they don't know, like she's in a dream state, but she is showing movement, and she is also, I think they did one surgery on her already because with her being on life support or critical condition, they couldn't conduct the other surgeries that need to be done until I guess she came to state of mind. So the news was that Apple Watts was in a car accident, and I think it was about between 2 a.m. and I'm not sure on the times, y'all, but I know it was in the wee hours of the morning. I want to say it was between like 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. one of them times, somewhere up in that time frame that this car accident took place. And no toxicology report has came out yet and said if she was drunk or if she was on drugs. That didn't come out yet, but the car was supposedly had split, allegedly, because it's different stories. I don't want to put some out there that's not true. So this is just what I've seen and some stuff that I read. There's so many different reports. One said that the car split in half, flipped over, I think 3 times, and bust into flames, and they had to pull her out of the burning vehicle. And then I read another story where they said the car had just flipped over multiple times and went into flames, and she was still pulled out from the car. Then I read one that said after the car flipped, she was ejected from the car and flew out the front window of the car. So I really don't know the full story on really what happened far as the accident. But what we do know is Apple Watts is in a fight for her life. Now, we seen the stuff that Apple went through in the public. We seen what Love and Hip Hop did to her. We seen that they didn't let her come back. And it was crazy that they wouldn't renew Apple Watts' contract. Well, she was one of the realest ones on there during that season. But then everything else that was going on, they renewed them to come back for another episode. And Apple behavior wasn't even compared to a lot of their behaviors. I think Apple only was there for like one season, I think. But compared to all the turmoil that was on there, it was weird that they didn't bring her back. I think her coming back to the show actually would have gave it a little bit more oomph that they was looking for, because Apple Watts is real, and she most definitely don't tolerate no disrespect. She don't tolerate no disrespect. And when it comes to her career and what she do, let's be honest, everybody always considers strippers like trash. Strippers are trash, or like they scum of the earth, and that's not necessarily the case. These women, this dancing is like a career of theirs. It's bigger than just dancing in a strip club. They get paid to perform. The stuff that Apple Watts does with her body, man, I ain't seen too many black women be able to do it. When it comes to Apple Watts' flexibility and her talent, when it comes to the music and how she can move her butt cheek, left cheek, right cheek, splits and spin around and flips and all that, Apple Watts is very talented with her physique and with her music. But for some reason, I think Apple battled with her acceptance with people. It's like quit trying to. I think Apple thing was stop trying, and I can't speak for her, but I'm just basing it off the actions and what we see on social media. It seemed like she was always fighting for acceptance. Acceptance. She wanted to come out this box of just being a stripper, a dancer. She fought really hard to come from about that stigma. She tried to do her music. She tried to get on reality TV. She got under Yo-Yo to mentor her and stuff like that. It was like she fought so hard. Like, cause we all talk about you do what you got to do to get to where you're going. She didn't want stripping to follow her for the rest of her life. And she got kids. She got boys. She wanted to show them something more. Just like drug dealers. Drug dealers sell dope to get where they need to be, and eventually their plan is to leave the game. Same thing with these strippers. A lot of these strippers don't plan on being strippers all their life. This is something that they doing to get to where they going. So me, I don't knock no hustle. One thing about over here with the pipeline, we respect the hustle. Regardless of what you gotta do to make ends meet, to take care of you and your family, you most definitely gotta do that. My thing is this: prepare for an exit plan. Make an exit plan while you living that life that you living, and you taking these risks and these penitentiary chances to get you into a better situation. Prepare for an exit plan. And we seen Apple Watts come with an exit plan. We seen her go on Love and Hip Hop. We seen her do a lot of different things in the media that was trying to get her away from that stripper stigma. And with that, she battled with depression and alcoholism, and I don't know if it was drugs involved. I can't say that because I never personally seen her do no drugs. So people say she was on drugs. I don't know. I'm not about to put that out there. I never seen her do drugs, but we have seen her get drunk and turn up, right? So we know when depression kicks in, when you trying so hard to prove yourself, not only to the world, but to the people that you love. I'm bigger than what y'all think I am. I'm better than what y'all think I am. I deserve more than what you tell me I can have. We seen Apple Watts experience all of this. We seen her go through a public breakup where she found out the person she loved was transgender. We seen what Love and Hip Hop did to her. We seen her battle with a lot of things that she put into the world. Apple Watts would get on live in her raw truth and would tell you her experiences, what she went through in the stripping world, what she go through with men. Because imagine that field that she's in, the disrespect that she had to endure behind men, treating her less than, talking to her less than, and still got to keep your head up every day and be a mother, collect a bag, still get crucified by the world. We seen her go through all of this. And my heart really goes out to Apple Watts. And I really do think that this right here, this experience, is most definitely an eye opener for her, but not for her, but to the people who love her, the world, her fans, her family. Her injuries is very serious. She allegedly has a broken back. Her spine is broke. Her arm, I think her forearm is shattered. Her skull, she has a fractured skull, and some other small things that's going on with her. The world wonders if Apple Watts would be the same after this. We don't know if after this, if she'll be able to walk again. She gonna have to teach. They gonna have to teach her how to talk again, how to feed herself. When you go through that serious amount of trauma physically, some people never come back and be the same. Some people come back and be stronger than ever because the power of God and having faith and having prayer in your life. God most definitely could turn this whole thing around. And we gonna keep Apple Watts in her in our prayers because she is one that we most definitely want to see her life change for the better. You know what I'm saying? And not saying she was a bad person. Apple Watts have a beautiful heart. She was a beautiful spirit. Apple Watts was a party by herself. She ain't need no help. She ain't need no help and was very confident in who she was. She battled with acceptance, I believe. I believe that's what her biggest battle was, acceptance. But far as when it comes to self-esteem, she knew who she was. She was very confident in her truth, but she put it out there to the public so y'all can learn from her. Y'all can see her stories and experiences. This is what can happen if you don't get it together. And true enough, she didn't see this car accident coming. She didn't know this was going to happen. But sometimes God do things in our life. And it's the part that people question the higher up and upstairs is like, well, how could you let this happen, God? How could you, when we lose a loved one or some traumatic happen to one of our children or our loved one, sometimes we get into a space where we have to question that man upstairs. But one thing for sure, too, for certain, everything happens for a reason. I don't believe things just happen luck. I don't believe in luck. I don't believe in coincidences. I believe things happen because they truly were supposed to happen. Some things is for the better, some things is for the worse. But we have to pay attention to these experiences that we go through and really evaluate our lives and what we really want out this thing called life. Because in the blink of an eye, it could be over with. It could be a wrap. Game over. We see what our women is going through. Look at our black women, what they're going through, the women of the culture. Nobody is fending for us. Nobody ain't fending for us. Let's go to Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez incident. We see Megan get ridiculed and dragged in the public for a woman who got shot. True enough, this is the thing. Megan most definitely did get shot. I think she got grazed from the research I've done. People, all her celebrity friends is walking away from her. All her endorsement deals is getting pulled. People unfollowing her. These is the same people who used her for the clout. When she was the hottest female last year and the year before that, They was doing whatever they could to be up under Megan Thee Stallion's umbrella. Everybody. We seen celebrities hanging with her. We seen her hopping from, excuse my language, we seen her hopping from nigga to nigga. We seen all of that. We seen all these people coming behind her. We didn't even, Megan took over to the point where we ain't even hear about Cardi and Nicki Minaj and Doja Cat and them. It was all about Megan Thee Stallion. For at least the last year and a half. That's all we heard. That's all we saw. That's all that was on our radio. All the kids. It was Lil Nas X and Megan Thee Stallion. Those who was trending last year. Besides before NBA YoungBoy came home, right? So we hear people say, Megan lying. Megan is lying. Megan is lying. Why? Let's be clear, y'all. Why would Megan have to lie and say that he shot her? Look, think about it. She's the highest paid artist of our time back then, last year. Look at all the endorsements. What would be the point for her to just come out and say Tory Lanez shot her if something didn't happen? But this is the part that I found out that happened, allegedly. Allegedly. So it came out, because we ain't even gonna go to the party and Kylie Jenner and all them, right? Let's get to the facts, what happened. Well, I gotta say allegedly, but this is what happened. They was, I guess, it came out that Tory Lanez was having sex with both best friends. It came out, so Kelsey, because I call the girl Chelsea. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Kelsey, the best friend. She say, I was sleeping with him first. Allegedly, you took him from me. So the beef was about Megan having a sexual affair with Tory Lanez after the best friend that had an affair with Tory Lanez first. Now, Kelsey come out and say, and I'm not even going to say allegedly because this is all in the public media. It's all public information. Kelsey say, every time I look up, this ain't the first man you done had of mine. She said, I watched on Instagram. She said, Megan has had sex with like 2 or 3 of her other men. And I guess with Tory Lanez's situation, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Now, everybody was drunk and intoxicated. So Megan assumed that Tory Lanez, I think she still is going with the Tory Lanez shot her because she had already made the statement that Tory Lanez had shot her. But then what I found out is Tory Lanez didn't even, when they did the forensic on him, he didn't even have no gunpowder residue on him, his body, or his hands. Guess who had the gun residue on him? The best friend Kelsey. So turned out from the story, the bodyguard, Tory Lanez's bodyguard, came out with the story. He was there. We can't say too much. We wasn't there. I wasn't there. So I'm telling y'all what the bodyguard saying, right? Here's the tea. The bodyguard say, Tory Lanez's bodyguard say that that Kelsey and Tory was tussling over the gun. I guess the gun was pointed down towards the ground. They was tussling. Tory allegedly tried to get the gun from the friend Kelsey. The gun let off, foul, 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 3 times into the concrete. The bullets ricocheted off of the ground and hit Megan Thee Stallion in the foots. In the foots, right? And this is not a joking matter. So here's the thing. She wasn't shot directly, but she was grazed. She was grazed, which caused, the bullet fragments, I guess, hit her feet. And Tory allegedly, Megan gave a statement that said that when Tory pointed the gun at her, allegedly, when they was telling the gun, he told her, dance, be dance. Like dance, like hop around, like dance to avoid getting shot. Like, y'all know what I'm saying? Like run from the bullets. Like, okay, dance, like whatever. So Megan say, y'all, she's like, only reason why I didn't say he shot me, was because, she said only because black men had just got killed. She was like, black men had just got killed. We had lost George Floyd. It was all this police brutality or whatever. So, yeah, I didn't say nothing because I didn't want it to go left because we was already going through a lot, our black men with police. But in my head, it's like, why would you protect and stand up for a person who allegedly supposed to have shot you? That don't make sense. I don't care what's going on in the world. If you shot me, yeah, I'm saying you shot me, and that's what happened. So then after that, they take I guess the best friend go down there for the forensic and the gun analysis and all that. She the one who had the gun residue on her. So it's kind of looking like Tory is gonna beat this case. I'm sorry to say it, look like he gonna beat this case because a lot of the evidence is going towards the girl. I mean, the best friend. But here's the thing: why ridicule Megan Thee Stallion for saying she got shot? She was in a drunken state. She didn't know who shot her behind what happened. But to just sit up and say like, oh, she lied, she didn't get shot. That's not true. She most definitely did get grazed by the bullets. I think what messed her up was her being drunk and saying it was Tory when she didn't have a clue of who it really came from. But what she do know, it was either Kelsey or Tory. But I think that's where she messed up at in her statement. She shouldn't even have said nothing. Or like Tori said, we was all drunk. He apologized. He like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have did this. He apologized to both of them for sleeping with him. But he said he's unapologetic for her lying on him, saying that he shot her. And Megan like, look, y'all was tussling over the gun. If you didn't shoot me, she shot me. But I think you shot me. So we don't know. Is this the sisterhood sticking together? Like, oh, he think he gonna sleep with both of us. He got the game wrong. We gonna gang up on him and say that he shot me? Because at this point, it's like a PR game. And we know that Rock Nation is up under Megan and all that, but I think more people really need to understand what happened to Megan besides just dragging her. The girl need to slow down on the drinking, true enough. She do. She need to slow down on the drinking because when you get accused of something like that, and you're not sure on who shot you, that's a big deal. That is a big deal. But I do feel bad for her, for the world ridiculing her off of being a victim. In a way, I think she was a victim. I really do. I only thing I think she messed up at was making that statement that she made. But she most definitely was hit with the bullets. People really do need to stand behind black women. And people are, oh, we not standing behind her. She lying. She lying. Y'all know how many times y'all have been drunk and lied and thought something happened. And then when you wake up the next morning, you like, let me put this together on what happened. And I simply believe that's what it was. But don't just make it seem like she was a liar and the bullets never hit her or nothing like that. She most definitely did get hit in the foots in the foots again. So we don't know, y'all. So when they was like, oh, well, where her surgery at? Where's the bullet fragment? When the bullets ricocheted, I guess, off of her feet, it made it look like she was like, oh, it was glass. It was glass because the bullets didn't actually hit her. It was the fragments of the bullets that went into her feet. Her feet was hot. Her feet was hot. It hit her. So let's keep that in mind. It's not like the bullets went straight through her foot, like they was aimed at each foot, like one shot here, two shot in that foot. No, it bounced off the ground and ricocheted in her feet, which could cause burning sensations. So I think she was drunk. It was a drunk night for all of them, and it kind of went left. But the thing is, why did the best friend pull out a gun? Why was a gun even involved? I don't personally see Tory Lanez having a reason to shoot Megan Thee Stallion. I don't. What I do see is a drunken friend, jealousy and envy. I'm tired of you, Megan. Every man, you got all the money, all the fame, all the clout. Why you want to keep sleeping with every man that I get? I'm tired of you. I'm tired of you been doing this ever since we've been best friends. Da, da, da. Who knows how long they've been best friends? This girl probably been putting up with Megan shit for 10, 15 years. Even that, and then when she got the success, it probably just took the best friend over a deep end. But that's what I think happened from the research I have done. I think people really need to support Megan. She most definitely has an alcoholism problem. She needs some treatment. She needs some help. But I don't think this is the time for people to ridicule her and kick her while she's down. I think this is a point where we need to embrace our black woman and get her back on track. I really do. Because she most definitely is a success story and a college graduate. Don't kick her while she's down. Send some words of encouragement. Encourage her to go to AA. Encourage her to get it together. Because the trial is most definitely we gonna see who is in the wrong and who was in the right. But off of what we put together off of everybody's stories, that's what it seemed like happened. So I'm a root for Megan. I'm really is. I believe in second and third chances. People make mistakes, especially drunken nights. Y'all know what alcohol can do to the brain when you forget a lot of things. You know, it plays a part on the mental, y'all. So shout out to Megan, y'all. Keep her in high spirits, man. Y'all keep your eye out on the trial, and we gonna see how this go. Another woman I wanted to talk about, Wendy Williams. I want to talk about Wendy Williams. Another woman who is in the media, who is getting dragged something crazy. And we see Wendy Williams constantly stay in people's business, constantly keep a lot of shit going. A lot of people not Wendy Williams' biggest fans, but y'all gotta understand, she's in the media business. This is how it works. She takes stories that's trending and talk about them on her talk show or when she had her radio show. That's what she do. So a lot of people like, well, Wendy, you be starting stuff and put people. Nah, your business is public. I get paid to talk about your business in the public. You put it in the public, I'm gonna talk about it. So that's pretty much Wendy Williams' stand. A lot of people is not her biggest fans. But here's the thing. What Wendy is going through, a lot of people love seeing Wendy going through what she's going through. And it's sad because we seen her battle with the drug addiction. We seen her husband cheat on her after 25 years, step out on her, have a baby. We seen what pain can do. Look at Wendy Williams. Look at Apple Watts. We seen what pain will do. We seen her health decline. And see, depression is really big, y'all. Depression and mental illness is so serious. If you don't get some kind of professional help or get under your religious cloth, that thing will take you for a ride. And it will most definitely start affecting your health. When your stress level get up, diabetes, you overeat, your heart rate, it could cause high blood pressure, depression. We seen what Wendy Williams went through. And we seen her health constantly decline. We seen her health constantly decline while going through all of this, right? So Wendy Williams saying, like everybody else, same thing with R. Kelly, same thing with Bill Cosby, same thing that happened to the best of our best. Where is my money? I need to know where this money is going. So about 6 months ago, this is the part the media ain't telling y'all. About 6 months ago, Wendy started getting more involved in her finances, right? Wait a minute, where this money going? She fired her financial advisor a few months ago. She fired her financial advisor. When she fired her financial advisor, that's when all hell broke loose. That's when, oh, you not capable of running your show no more. We gonna sit you down. You need to get some psychological help. When she started finding out where that money was going and fired her financial advisor, they made it seem like she having a nervous breakdown. Wendy Williams, oh, her health is declining. She having a nervous breakdown. Listen here. Ain't nothing wrong with Wendy Williams but her trying to get down to the bottom of that coin. Every time they trying to find out what's going on with their money, here come these higher ups making a story up on them. Here they did this. Oh, they got that. They made up a whole story saying Wendy Williams strung out on drugs and she having a nervous breakdown. Her health is declining. Matter of fact, when she fired her financial advisor go over to Wells Fargo. The financial advisor like, oh, you think you about to get rid of me? You think you about to stop my lifestyle and stop my lifestyle? You paying me good to run this money that I'm stealing from you. Wendy Williams paid her financial advisor good money to steal from her. That's all that happened. So the financial advisor, she said, oh yeah, you think you gonna get rid of me like that? I'm gonna go over here to Wells Fargo. I'm gonna lock that bread down for you. You ain't getting nothing. How about that? Wendy Williams' financial advisor went over to Wells Fargo portraying to steal, listen, acting as if she still was a representative for Wendy Williams, which she was already fired. She was already fired. Oh, Wendy Williams, I'm her financial advisor. She's incapable of managing her own funds. They did Britney Spears like this. Wait a minute, let's not forget how they did Britney Spears like this 13 years ago. And Britney Spears is just now recouping and coming out of all of this from 13 years ago. They pulled the same thing on Britney Spears that they doing on Wendy Williams. Same exact thing. The financial advisor go to Wells Fargo and say, oh yeah, she need guardianship over her money. She's not capable of handling her own finances. Now, Wendy Williams is on break. Y'all know what she do. These actors and celebrities, they can't wait to go on vacation and spend time with their loved ones because they never get a chance to do it. So Wendy Williams like, well, okay, y'all gonna say I'm sick and I'm deranged and all this. Let me go on these vacations and spend time with the people I love. Thank you, Hollywood. I needed a damn break. I needed a break. So we see Wendy with her family. She walking on beaches and spinning in circles and hay hats and everything. Well, ain't nothing wrong with her. Only thing that's wrong with her is she want her coin. Like she said, this is unfair. This is not right. Regardless of how y'all feel about me, I work hard. I need my money. I need my millions. How y'all gonna stop me for that? But the whole world is ridiculing her, calling her a drug head, saying she's mentally incapable of managing this and managing that. Y'all gotta read between the lines. This is why I'm here to deliver the news to y'all. Because I really do a lot of background work on these stories. These headlines, they just give us what they want, the facade we need to know. Go down and break through these stories the real way, and you will really find the truth. That's what happened to Wendy Williams. And Wendy Williams, I hope she do end up getting her money. Y'all send prayer for Wendy Williams. Now y'all really know what's going on with her. Y'all could really look at it in a different light now. Look at it from a different light. Regardless of how you feel, I worked hard for my millions. It's not up to y'all to tell me I can't have my money that I work hard for. That's like you going to work every day. You get your paycheck and your job telling you we gonna hold your paychecks for 2-3 months because we don't feel like you capable of performing your job on time. That ain't got nothing to do with how y'all feel about me personally. Y'all owe me my money. And that's pretty much what Wendy Williams is going through. Shout out to Wendy Williams. Prayers for her. I hope she end up getting her money. And I really, really hope that she really get her show back. I really do. Black women is in power. They is trying to strip our black women so much. I don't think y'all understand. Look at how they did Megan Thee Stallion. They used her till they couldn't use her no more. She twerked for 2 years straight. Just twerk, 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 twerk. And look what they did to her. They use them up. They use our women up to get what they need, and then they just throw them away. Just throw them away. And that's it's a sad situation. Shout out to Wendy Williams, another female artist I gotta talk about today. Big Lotto. Shout out to Mulatto. Shout out to Mulatto. Another strong, beautiful black woman who is getting drugged. Getting drugged. This my thing with Lotto. This my thing with Lotto. Lotto been doing this for a long time. Lotto been had a name in this industry before we knew who she was. Lotto been at this and she was like 16, 15, 16 years old, getting to 100 bands. This girl been in her bag. So she comes out and say, these men artists, they try to play me. Sometimes they come with sexual advances. They try to do this. They try to stop the song from being released if you don't go on their sexual advances. Why do women have to get treated like that? And it seemed like ever since Lotto came out with that, they made it seem like she was talking about Kodak Black. She never said it was Kodak Black. People is creating controversy where it is not. She never said that it was Kodak Black. People assume that it was Kodak Black. Lotto is just speaking from a female point of view, a female musician in this industry. Us women go through a lot. go through a lot because it's a male predominantly industry. You know how many women suck and F their way to the top? You know how many different doors that women artists have to go through to get that stamp of approval for them to be on our TVs and our radio? So Lotto came out and Step talked about it. She came out and said that she's in a relationship with 21 Savage. And it just seems like ever since Lotto is really been making a lot of noise 2022. Seemed like a lot of other people are just coming against her and dragging her. They're like, oh, her butt is fake. Look at her body. She built funny. Lotto is arrogant. Lotto is this. I think Lotto actually has a very, very genuine spirit. Y'all be getting caught up off of these characters like Charleston White talks about. Shout out to Charleston White. Y'all get caught up in these characters and don't be realizing and paying attention to the real people, the real person. Lotto has never rubbed nobody the wrong way in the industry. I like the way she stand on business. I really do. I think she most definitely, because don't get it twisted. People like, oh, well, look at the music that she make. Look at the music that Megan Thee Stallion make. They deserve to be treated like this behind the music that they make. It's business. It's entertainment. But why should I have to be mistreated behind the entertainment world that I'm in? I'm still a human being. I'm still a person. I'm still a mother. These are real women that are in the entertainment business. So why should these stigmas keep following them behind the music that they make? Them stigmas gonna follow all women. They did it to Little Kim. They did it to Nicki Minaj. They did it to Remy Ma. Oh, you too dark. They did it to Queen Latifah because she was a stud, and back then studs wasn't acceptable. They did it to the Brat. The Brat came out as the first female stud. Like these women always go through different things, and I feel bad for Lotto because she's steady putting pressure. She is steady coming with pressure, but it seemed like they starting to just put a lot of dirt on her name now. It's like now people like trying not to work with her now. They was like, oh, she exposed you or she ain't the one to work with. And I think it's bad. I don't like the way that they portraying Lotto image to be. Like, oh, a lot of female rappers like, oh, she too arrogant. She too arrogant. All the female rappers is arrogant. Look at Megan Thee Stallion. Look at Cardi B. Look at Nicki. All of them are arrogant to some extent. But I believe in order to be great, self-esteem is everything. You want to believe that you're the truth. You want to believe that you are the best in what you do. You want to keep your self-esteem high in order to obtain the level of success that you wanted to obtain. You cannot sit up here and belittle yourself and downgrade yourself, but then expect for people to come and embrace you and support what you're doing when you don't even believe in yourself. You got to believe in yourself. So shout out to Lotto, y'all. Y'all go check Lotto out, man. Lotto is really doing her thing. I'm happy for Lotto. I'm glad she's leads. I don't think her and 21 Savage is a good relationship. I don't. But that is my opinion. Just like I don't think Pete Davidson and Kim Kardashian it is a good fit. I don't think Will and Jada is a good fit. It's like, I don't know. I just don't see stuff the way that y'all do see stuff, but that's just my opinion. But however, shout out to Lotto. Another rapper, female rapper I want to talk about since we are talking about images, right? Shout out to Boog the Bandit, justice for Boog the Bandit, right? To me, the number one artist to me in Ohio that most definitely put her foot down and stood on what she stood on. But as we see, look at these celebrities, right? Boog worked with so many people that when she passed away, you didn't see no celebrity come out. Rob Kardashian, Chris Brown, DJ Khaled. It was a lot of people that Boog the Bandit worked with. And she has millions of views. Her videos, man, the girl was doing her thing coming out of Ohio. She most definitely, to me, is underrated and one of my most hottest females in the last 2 years that a lot of people just slept on and didn't understand her music. I don't even know if y'all didn't understand her music, if wasn't familiar with her music, right? Boog run wasn't as long as like Nicki Minaj run and Lotto run and stuff like that. She really just really got her foot in the door. I would say the last few years, but when she entered the door, she came in all gas, no brakes. It wasn't no denying you ain't know who Boog the Bandit was. It wasn't no denying that. For her not to have that history, who come from modeling and jump into this music and took off the way she took off, man, that girl was on her way out of here. Another one, another black female artist that I feel like more people need to stand up for. A lot of people is just overlooking the fact that Courtney Bruce was gunned down in the state, in her city where she was from, with some people that I feel like backdoored her. I'm going to be honest. I think Courtney Bruce was backdoored. I believe she was set up, and I believe it had a lot to do with, besides them people that's in jail. And that's my personal opinion. From the stories that I covered on Courtney Bruce, she was backdoored. And it was crazy because I believe she was backdoored by the people who she most definitely wanted to take with her, but realized they can't go. You can't go with me. And then when she realized that these people couldn't go and they got cut off, that's when the plan got in motion. The play they ran on Boog just wasn't it just happened on that day. She was target and set up on that day. It just happened. No, it wasn't. It was planned. Boog's death was planned. It was plotted. It was proof of text messages in the phones months before she was murdered. All it is, she was backdoor. And she's another artist that I feel like didn't get her flowers while she was living. It's a lot of people in Columbus that I felt like most definitely need to step up for that headstone. Y'all go to Courtney Bruce, GoFundMe, and y'all donate to her headstone. Courtney Bruce needs a headstone. Columbus, she was yours. Columbus, y'all need to stand up. Y'all need to go sign that petition. And y'all most definitely need to hit that GoFundMe and donate to Courtney Bruce headstone, because she deserved it. She deserved her own street name, her own day, and she deserved a headstone. What Courtney Bruce did for Columbus, all them designers she helped down there, all them musicians she helped down there, all that free work that she did for Columbus, yeah, y'all, this one gonna fall on y'all. Y'all need to stand up for her. Because Ohio, we most definitely got her. Ohio, we on the map. We gonna represent. We love our female artists. Shout out to Courtney Bruce. Shout out to the Bruce family. We gonna stand up for ours. But Columbus, y'all gotta hit that GoFundMe. Columbus, y'all designers, y'all need to put something in remembrance for Courtney Bruce. Y'all business owners, put a mural up in y'all business. Y'all clothing designers that was working with her, y'all need to come up with something for Courtney Bruce. Y'all could put a logo with her shirt on there. Y'all need to get behind this campaign and help support Wanda Bruce, her mother. Y'all ain't nobody come knocking on Miss Wanda door, calling Miss Wanda, seeing if Miss Wanda is okay. Y'all know how much she loved Miss Wanda. Y'all know everything she did was for her mother. Y'all gotta get in touch with Miss Wanda. Y'all gotta get behind this GoFundMe, Columbus, Ohio. Cause ain't no way our legend, she ours. She the GOAT. Ain't no way Courtney Bruce should have went out the way she went out, being backdoored and jealousy and envy by people who wanted what they wanted from her. A lot of people felt entitled to Courtney Bruce's success. Just because you was rocking with me 3 years ago don't mean you on this boat right now. You was putting holes in the boat, so I had to kick you off the boat. It was crazy because I always think about how Courtney Bruce, sometimes we see our tuition. This is why I talk about tuition sometimes. Sometimes we see things that in our lives that other people don't see. You know what I'm saying? And we thankful as the fans and as the people who love Courtney that she most definitely turned her life over. It seemed like when she was going through her transition with about to leave Columbus and take off with her music and move to Atlanta, it was like she wanted to start a new leaf. She got baptized 90 days before, and it's public. You can really go on YouTube and Google. You can Google Courtney Bruce baptism. She literally turned her life over and was baptized 90 days before she was murdered. And it was like she was ready to turn over a new leaf. She knew what she was doing, she knew where she was going, and she knew who she was bringing with her. Her story is a sad story. Courtney Bruce was most definitely about to be at the peak of her game. She had a lot of talent, had a lot of potential. I mean, when it comes to creativity, Boog was so creative, you couldn't just put her in a box. You couldn't just put her as a rapper. You couldn't just put her as a songwriter. She was into clothing. She knew how to design clothing, shoot videos. She was great at doing hair. She was a model. She was a musician. I mean, the girl got at least 10 creative talents that I can count on both hands with how dope she was. Rest in peace, Courtney Bruce. She's another one that I feel like as black women, women for the culture, that nobody speaks up for. No, nobody speaks up for. And that's the part that hurt my heart, because all these women is beautiful black women. And it seemed like out of all races, our women just become headlines. It's headlines. So I have to bring my stories about these women and break their stories down and their real life experiences to the world, so other women most definitely can not only learn their story, not know their story, but also learn from their stories. Another woman, y'all, that I'm gonna close out on this for the woman of the culture. We talked about her before. And I believe these two women, Courtney Bruce and this next female who I'm about to say, to me, in our industry, I think these two women right here was taken away the most tragic ways. Courtney Bruce and Magnolia Shorty. Rest in peace, Magnolia Shorty. Rest in peace, Boog the Bandit. Well, actually, rest in paradise, ladies. Magnolia Shorty was the first lady of Cash Money. Magnolia Shorty was another, because they is Shorty or Shorty. I call her both. Magnolia Shorty was another female artist that was in her 20s, who was the first lady of Cash Money before it was a Nicki Minaj, before it was a twerk. I mean, before it was a Turk. I'm sorry, Turk of Cash Money. Magnolia Shorty introduced Turk to Baby. That's how Turk ended up getting in the group. Magnolia Shorty was ambushed coming from a show. She was coming from a show. They was on their way out of town after the show. She was leaving. She was leaving the show, going home with a friend, a male friend. Kind of remind me of Boog the Bandit case with Cameron being with that male friend, Mr. Lockhart. Boog was with Mr. Lockhart in her fatal days. And Magnolia Shorty was also with a male friend who she considered like a brother. Same thing with like Mr. Lockhart's situation. That's why I said both of their stories is kind of similar in a way, but it's not similar, but it's similar, if y'all get what I'm saying. When she was coming home, she lived in a gated community. Keep in mind, she was first lady of Cash Money, so the money was up. She was up, Magnolia Shorty. She most definitely was a main star. Everybody knew who Magnolia Shorty was. So she was in her gated community. Soon she pulled into the gate community. Two masked gunmen jump out the car and shoot Magnolia Shorty's car up over 40 something times. These guys not only sorry y'all, that was my alarm. These guys not only pulled up and ambushed her and the dude, they jumped out of the car, and one gunman stood on top of the trunk of the car and let off inside Magnolia Shorty as he stood on top of the trunk of her car. Magnolia Shorty was shot, I think, over 35 times. She was shot between, I want to say between 32 and 35 times. Magnolia Shorty was shot. Very tragic. When Magnolia Shorty died, nobody was standing up for Magnolia Shorty, like for our black women. Around the time it happened, she was a headline for a week. After that, it was rest in peace. That was it. We didn't really hear too much of Magnolia Shorty. You really don't hear Cash Money even saying her name anymore. They don't do nothing for her family. And this is crazy. What happened to Magnolia Shorty? She was the queen of bounce. When it come to twerking and all that, she was like a Megan Thee Stallion. Big Frida kind of took over. I think after Magnolia Shorty died, Big Frida took the crown and became the queen of bounce, which it was Magnolia Shorty's crown. But she was another female artist that went out so tragic. Women of our culture. And it seemed like they just become headlines. And I'm kind of over it because I was like, you know what? I'm going to get down to the bottom of these women's story because there's so many people around the world who be want to know what's going on with these women. What's really the truth behind our black women either being sacrificed or being assassinated by their own kind. Y'all do some research on Magnolia Shorty. Y'all, please donate to Courtney Bruce headstone. Go to change.org. Put in Courtney Bruce. Columbus, we need y'all behind this. We need y'all behind this, Columbus. We also need everybody around the world, wherever you are, to donate to Courtney Bruce headstone, y'all. Shout out to Wanda Bruce. Peace and love to the Bruce family. Justice for Courtney Bruce. And y'all know what else is crazy too before I leave? Magnolia Shorty dude. The dude she was engaged to. Why he was gunned down a year later after her. I think he was shot like 8, 9 times a year after she passed away, her fiance. It's a sad story, y'all, but I just want to catch up with y'all because I've been kind of busy, y'all, with this little negotiations I've been going through. I'm most definitely celebrating this weekend. Last weekend, I told y'all my celebration was not what was up behind what happened to me in that little lounge. But this weekend, most definitely getting lit. This requires a celebration. I'm so excited, y'all. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to what is to come. And I got help with the pipeline. I got some help with the pipeline. And y'all ain't gonna believe what's to come. Y'all ain't gonna believe what's to come. I'm thankful for that person who reached out to me and who said, I want to help you with your pipeline. What you got going on with it? I really appreciate that from the bottom of my heart because the pipeline is everything to me. And I just don't know still what I'm doing with a lot of different things. So he's going to come in, help me with my images, help me with interviews, help me with a lot of different things. So y'all stay tuned. Nothing happens overnight. Now, y'all know it's going to be it's going to be some work, but y'all stay with me. On top of that, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel for me. Pipeline News 2020 at gmail.com. Hit the like button for me. Y'all can do that. That don't cost nothing. That don't cost nothing. Hit the like button for me, y'all. Subscribe to the channel. I'm out of here, y'all. Until next time.